Is Lord of the Rings Starter Kit worth it? In this video, I will go over what the product contains, who it is for, the financial value, playability, and a rating for new and experienced players. Lord of the Rings Starter Set contains the following: 2 60-card decks containing 1 foil mythic and 4 rares each. It also comes with 2 cardboard deck boxes that will not fit 60 sleeved cards. But hey, it is cardboard, so you're not really losing much. The product also comes with a rulebook and 2 arena codes, which are a great inclusion. As the name suggests, the starter kit is meant to help new players start playing Magic the Gathering. Right now, the product is being sold around 25 to 30 Canadian and 20 USD. For those prices, 120 cards is a good deal. It is important to note most of these cards are commons and some uncommons, which probably means the cards in the deck will have little to no value. Or is it? Financial value. Looking at these cards on TCG, excluding basic lands, Gondor deck will cost 29.6 USD and Mordor will cost around 32.08 USD. Putting those numbers together, you have about $61.68 of value. Now, that is a great price for a $20 product, but most of the cards in the deck are chaff. So if you were to take out cards that are worth less than $1, Gondor deck will cost 26.90 USD. Aragon and R1 Wed is about $4.75. Frodo Determined Hero is about $2.75. Gandalf the White Rider is about $2.90. Galadriel's Gift Giver is about $8.50, and Bibelow's Ring is about $8. Mordor will cost you $28.6. Sauron the Lidless Eye is $6. Gollum's Scheming Guide is $4.50. Witch King Bringer of Ruin is $14. Wow! And the Balrog Flame of Udin is $1.30. Altogether, that is $55.50. Quick note here, by the time editing this video, some of the cards in this deck have gone up in value. So look at that, you are getting even more value. Like Aragon and Arwen is going about $10. Frodo Determined Hero is going about $3.75. Gandalf White Rider is going about $3.50. And Bibelow's Ring is going about $9.93, and so on. That is still a great value for a $20 product. But there is something more important than financial value, and that is playability. Fortunately, I had a friend who play-tested the 2 decks, and he stated that these decks are balanced against each other. The Gondor deck is a legendary and food-themed deck. Some examples are Bag and Porter. He gains XX until end of turn, where X is the number of legendary creatures you control. And East Frauding Farmer gives target creature 1+1 for each food token you control. Now, when I say legendary themed deck, don't get too excited, as most of the legendaries in the deck are underwhelming. Mordor uses the Amass mechanic for its main strategy. Amass Orc allows you to put 1+1 counter to an army and turns them into an orc. A very fun mechanic where you get to make your orc army stronger over time. Goth Mog Morgul Lieutenant is another great inclusion, as it gives your orc army death touch. Gishna Macbrash is another great inclusion as well, as it not only helps grow your orc army, you can potentially steal one of your opponent's creatures as well, temporarily. But still, that's good. Now, it is important to note that these decks are not competitive. If you bring these decks to Friday Night Magic, you will most likely are not going to win any rounds without major upgrades. The gameplay is more of a sluggish kitchen table experience rather than a more competitive gameplay, which is not a bad thing to be honest. In fact, many people enjoy those playstyle. Final conclusion. The two decks in the starter kit are not powerful for Friday Night Magic without any upgrades, which may not be a bad thing for a newer player, since if they contain high start off their cards, experienced player may have snatched them all up and made it harder for new players to grab them. Now, I do believe that just because someone is a new player, that does not mean they should be getting underpowered decks. You can still give them a good deck with simple mechanic. Now, despite the decks being underpowered, I still think that this is a great starting point for a new player. Not only do you get 120 cards for a low price, you also get a rule booklet to help you learn how to use those cards you bought. If you have an experienced player, you could lend them one of the two decks to help you learn how to play, and if you have no one to teach you, you can use that arena code. Honestly, overall, this is an amazing product for a new player to start playing Magic the Gathering. They can slowly upgrade the decks by buying packs, or they can simply upgrade the decks by buying packs or singles. And if they do not plan on upgrading, they still have two decks that are balanced against each other. It's like having two Planeswalker decks, excluding the two boosters, for a price of one. Because the Lord of the Rings starter kit gives a new player a strong foundation to start collecting and playing, I will give it 8.5 out of 10 for new players. For experience, I will give it 6.5 out of 10, as most of the cards are underpowered duds. But hey, at least it's got great financial value. Remember though, the values always change, so don't expect these cards to hold the same value over a long periods of time. In addition, remember that these ratings are just my own, and if you like Lord of the Rings and the starter kit really appeal to you, then go ahead, pick one up from your local game store. As long as the product appeals to you, it is a money well spent. Anyway, I hope this video was some help to you. Please visit TCC, Tolarian Community College, the inspiration for this video, and if you don't mind, subscribe for more Magic the Gathering reviews and gameplay. Last but not least, always buy from your local game store, if you can. Anyway, that's about it. I'll see you next time.